Hey guys, it's me tonight back with another Star Wars Starfighter episode, and in this episode I'm going to be featuring another one of my favourite Starfighters. Unlike the A-Wing in my previous episode, which was more of an air superiority type Starfighter, this one is classified as a heavy assault Starfighter, and it is the B-Wing. Now, during the blockade of the Yavin system, which was ordered by Darth Vader, Alliance starfighters always seemed to be able to roam at will, and elsewhere the Imperial fleet was suffering embarrassing losses in raids on convoys. Now, to combat this, the Empire began to use capital ships such as the Nebulon B escort frigate to provide fighter cover and anti-starfighter gunnery. Now, the rebels who had been using the Y-Wing fighter bomber to hit capital ships began to suffer significant losses. Now, Alliance High Command took the unusual step of commissioning an entirely new assault starfighter. This was simply because they knew they couldn't match the Empire for capital ships. A Mon Calamari tactician, Commander Akbar, was put in charge of the top secret operation, dubbed Project Shantipole, and based in the Roche asteroid field, home to the brilliant Verpine shipwrights Slane and Corpit. Though the Shantipole project was a success, with Commander Akbar being promoted to Admiral, the development process was not a smooth one. The regional Imperial commander, Bane Nothos, uncovered the development. However, for his own stupidity, he decided to allow it to continue so that he could capture the completed fighters along with the development team and any high-ranking rebels present, which sounded a bit like a plausible plan. Sounded like a good idea, but unfortunately, the first small squadron of B-Wings proved to be too tough for him, and his ambush was destroyed. Now, after this initial success, the challenges inherent in the B-Wing actually began to cause problems. The unique way that the body of the ship rotated around the cockpit meant that flying the ship took an almost entirely different mindset for the pilot. In fact, due also in part to the tendency for the cockpit rotation hardware to jam, many B-Wing pilots locked the cockpit in one place for flight. Now, the space frame of the B-Wing was also easily stressed, and armor was comparatively light for such a heavily armed, slow, and not particularly agile craft. Now, as a result of all those issues, only a few B-Wings were in service by the time of the Battle of Endor. But however, even that small number made a difference, bringing down no less than an Imperial II Star Destroyer. Once the second Death Star was destroyed, the modular nature of the craft's weapons hardpoints meant it was quickly refitted with firefighting equipment to deal with the conflagrations sparked in the Endor forest by pieces of the Death Star that hadn't burned up in the atmosphere. Now, though vaguely similar to and using elements from other earlier craft, including the Slane and Corporal's own B-19 Torrent Starfighter, which was used by the Republic during the Clone Wars, the B-Wing was a very unique ship. Now, this was something that was both to its advantage and, due to its weakness, its disadvantage. Still, with an expert pilot flying it, the B-Wing was a hugely potent force. The original standard weaponry mounted by a B-Wing featured 3 Armac SW7s, a light ion cannon, a Gohill R9X heavy laser cannon, a Gohill 72 twin autoblasters, and 2 Krupp MG9 proton torpedo launchers. Now, the autoblasters were quickly replaced by additional laser cannons, much as the original 4 Slane and Corporal JZ5 fusional thruster engines were often replaced by 1 Quadrex Chiromaster engine. The B-Wing also benefited from heavy shielding thanks to its Surplex CR-41 shield generator. Now, not prepared to rest on their laurels, the Verpine shipwrights immediately began work on an improved version of the fighter, producing the B-Wing E variant less than a standard year later. Now, to the casual observer, the B-Wing and B-Wing E were almost identical, with the exception of a visible extension of the cockpit pod. The B-Wing E's extended cockpit was the result of modifications to allow a second crew member to serve as a gunner. Now, the standard B-Wing used advanced computer systems and a low-power targeting laser to marshal its weapon systems, but the intricate flight dynamics of the fighter meant that pilots on occasion found that they were unable to react quickly enough to snapshot opportunities. As with the standard version of the craft, the cockpit unit was capable of rotation to bear on targets, but the gunner's station had its own unique gimbal system. The gunner could therefore remain stable and maintain a clear field of fire, no matter how severe the pilot's maneuvers. The addition of a gunner also freed the pilots to concentrate on flying, allowing the weapons officer to manage the B-Wing E's multiple cannons and torpedo launchers. The command cabin of the standard B-Wing fighter was lengthened by about 3 meters for the expanded B-Wing variants, and it was the addition of a gunner meant that the B-Wing E2s often had a much higher combat to kill ratio than those of their single-seat brethren, which became obvious when they started fielding the E-variant B-Wings, and they actually noted the sharp increase in enemy kills during combat. Now, the weapon loadout for the B-Wing E was a pair of Gurhill R9X fire-linked laser cannons, a Krupp MG9 proton torpedo launcher with an 8-shot magazine, and 3 Armec SW7A ion cannons, one on each S-foil and another in the tail pod. Now, the torpedo launchers were the Krupp X Corporation's standard munition delivery system, but they could also be modified to fire emission-type warheads. The twin short-range auto blasters of the standard B-Wing were replaced with additional life support hardware for the gunnery officer. The expanded B-Wing used the same shield generator array as the standard vessel, and also maintained the use of the hard-working Slane and Corporal HYD 997 hyperdrive motivator for interstellar travel. And there you have it. That's pretty much everything you need to know about one of the most unique and heavily armed vessels ever flown, the B-Wing Heavy Assault Fighter. Now, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment with your thoughts on the video if you feel like it, and be sure to subscribe to keep up to date with all my latest videos I put out, and I'll talk to you all in the next one, guys. See ya.